ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी नमामि हरि। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna. So welcome to the Friday and Saturday series on Bhakti Tattva Vivek. Today we'll have a short session because today is Nityanand Trayodasi and many devotees would like to go to the temple to attend the morning class on Nityanand Trayodasi. So we'll have a very brief discussion today in Bhakti Tattva Vivek. And we will continue with what we have been discussing so far. We have just began with the Bhakti Tattva Vivek, uh, tasting and preaching Shuddha Bhakti. What are the two benefits? And what is the harm of these false philosophies? That's why Rupa Goswami is going to define pure devotion. So that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks in the Bhakti Tattva Vivek. And then we went into Rupa Goswami's definition of pure devotion from the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. And up till now, in three classes, we have been discussing this definition of pure devotion, the Mukhya Lakshan, the Swarupa Lakshan, and the Tatastha Lakshan, the intrinsic characteristics and the extrinsic characteristics of pure devotion service. Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam, two Mukhya Lakshans, and Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmandya Anavritam. So this is what we discussed in the last few classes. Now, after hearing this definition of pure devotional service and also other scriptural quotes which we discussed, where in the Narad Pancharatra this definition is given, in the Bhagavatam Kapil Dev is given, Then we came to this very important theme, if you remember. Are we practicing Ananya Bhakti? Are we practicing Ananya Bhakti? So this is what we discussed in the last class. Are we practicing Ananya Bhakti? This is the definition of Ananya Bhakti, Anya Bilashita. And one of the most important characteristics of Ananya Bhakti is it is continuous without any break. So we saw again these references, Ahetuki Avyavahita. Avyavahita is not broken because of karma or gyan. And then we saw Bhagavad Gita references, Ananya, Yoma Smarati Nityasha. And then we saw 9.13 and 9.14. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, Satatam, Nitya perpetually engaged. And then again 9.22, Nitya Abhiyuktanam, Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Having no other object, the mind doesn't go to any other object except Krishna. And then we saw again Bhagavad Gita 10 chapter, Machitta Matagata Prana. Katah Shantamam Nityam. Perpetually they are discussing about me. And 10.10, Tesham Satata Yuktanam. Satata Yuktanam. Always engaged. And then Yetu Sarvani Karmani. All actions are done only for Krishna's pleasure. So this was also we discussed. And then right in the Bhagavatam 1 to 6, Ahetuki Apratihata. Apratihata is unbroken. So all these references we saw in the last class. So now, after seeing these references, I think most of the devotees who are today online also attended that class. What are your thoughts? Are we practicing Ananya Bhakti or Uttama Bhakti? What Rupa Goswami has defined in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. What are your thoughts about it? We went through all the references. Yes, Radha Rohini Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. So myself, I am not practicing Ananya Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti.
What is the reason you feel?
Because it is mixed with the karma. I'm myself is identifying with my body, and I'm depending upon my income also.
Okay, but let us go into the definitions. What references we have. Based on that, I want to answer what if why we feel that we are still not practicing Ananya Bhakti.
No, it is mentioned that 24 continuously without any break.
Yes, that is the reason. Yes. Any other thoughts by any other devotees? Any other thoughts? Yes, Radha, Jivan, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes.
Prabhu, there are attachments so much, the materials, Anyabilasita Sunyam.
Yes, we don't fulfill the criteria of Anya Bilashita. We have still so many Abhilashas while even practicing devotion, and we might pursue those desires also. When we are pursuing those desires, then there is karma. If you are pursuing the desire to please Krishna, then there is no karma, it is bhakti, right? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Similar answer, Prabhu. Even sometimes I think karma brita also, I think we don't fulfill.
Karma happens.
Yes, yes.
Now I'll give you one example. Please hear this carefully. Dhruva Maharaj practiced devotion. with the desire to attain a heavenly kingdom. He was a Kshatriya by nature, with the desire to attain a kingdom greater than his great grandfather Brahma. And by practicing that devotion, Mishra Bhakti, it is Karma Mishra Bhakti, the Lord gave him darshan and he got purified. He became a Shuddha Bhakta. Now he had no desire to, uh, because he had attained the Lord, everything seemed insignificant. So, but still the Lord gave him that benediction. So now Dhruva Maharaj had become a pure devotee, Shuddha Bhakta. He came back and started ruling his kingdom. Now, again, while he was ruling his kingdom as a Kshatriya, uh, was he practicing Shuddha Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, or Mishra Bhakti? I hope you're clear with my question. And I want to ask Birendra Everpool first because he mentioned it about it. Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji. Yes.
Bro, I think he practiced pure devotion because after Lord's darshan, he got fully purified, and he was whatever duties with regards to kingdom and all he did. It was just to set an example, I think.
Yeah, but when he's doing the duties as a king, he's a Kshatriya and he has got that nature. And will it not fall in karma avaran then?
Theoretically, it should fall.
Ah,
It
so
should
how
fall.
can you say that after that? Okay, okay. I'll hear one more Mataji had raised a hand. Radha Rohini Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The same answer I am also want to tell Prabhuji.
What is
What
that?
Virendra Prabhuji told.
Okay.
That
Okay. Sorry. Extremely sorry. Yeah, you were saying something?
so he's being a Kshatriya, he has to perform his duties, but thinking himself as a servant of the Lord.
Yeah, but whether he was practicing Uttama Bhakti that time or no, after he came back and started ruling his kingdom, whether he was practicing Ananya Bhakti or Mishra Bhakti that time.
Ananya Bhakti Prabhuji.
Why you feel that he was practicing Ananya Bhakti?
I studied that in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, even though he is performing his prescribed duties, he is thinking himself as the uh, servant of the Lord.
Yes, exactly. This is the answer. This is the answer. So, when he had the darshan of the Lord and he got purified from all these desires and he came back, he performed his kingly duties not based on the identification of his nature, Swabhava, but as an identification as a servant of Krishna. So, although he was performing his Varnashram duties of a Kshatriya Dharma, he identified based on the soul's Dharma, that is pure devotion. So, that is why while doing his Kshatriya duties, there was no karma avaran happening. Jnana karma di anavritam. It was not getting avrit, eclipsed. So that is the reason, even after coming back, he was still practicing pure devotion. It was not getting covered. So that is the point, very important point. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss two references. There are many, you'll come across many. I started hearing the Nectar of Devotion lectures of Srila Prabhupada. And practically in most of the lectures, Prabhupada is bringing out this point about pure devotion. Pure devotion. And how pure devotion, as Rupa Goswami is defining, these finer aspects, what we have discussed in the last three classes, Prabhupada is bringing out in his lectures. Sometimes when we study the purports and lectures also, if we have not studied the Siddhanta and understood the definition of pure devotion, we might not catch what Prabhupada is saying. We might not catch. So that is why it is very important for us to understand the Siddhanta. So right in the second or third lecture of this Nectar of Devotion series of lectures, which Prabhupada gave in Radha Damodar to all his disciples when he was here, I think visiting in 1972, a series of lectures on the Nectar of Devotion Prabhupada gave this. Very famous this is. So this is the second or the third lecture of Prabhupada, and let us see what Prabhupada is saying. I gave now scriptural references of verses about Ananya Bhakti. Now I am giving directly references from the Bhaktivedanta purports and lectures. Let's see. So this is a lecture on Nectar of Devotion, October 18, 1972, Vrindavan. So this is the statement in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Stavara Jangama Dekhe, Na Dekhe Taramurti. He sees moving and non-moving. He sees the trees, the stavar. He sees people moving, they are jangam. Dekhe na dekhe taramurti. He doesn't see the external. What does he see? He's seeing the spirit soul within the tree. He's just seeing the spirit soul within the human beings. Ishtadeva Spurti, it's there. He's saying he does not see the external form, but he sees the actual essence of the person, and therefore he sees Krishna. The actual essence of the person is the Atma, and along with the Atma, there is a Paramatma. So, which verse of the Bhagavad Gita you can quote for this? Anyone knows which verse you can quote for this? Which verse of the Bhagavad Gita you can quote for this? That he doesn't see the externals, but he sees the essence. Anyone would like to try? Who will quote the Bhagavad Gita verse to substantiate Prabhupada's statement? He doesn't see the external, but he sees the essence. And therefore he sees Krishna. Anyone would like to try? Which verse of the Bhagavad Gita you will quote as a reference for this? For this statement of Prabhupada. He does not see the external form, but he sees the actual essence of the person. Who will answer this? Okay, it is Vidya Vinay Sampanne, Brahmani Kavihastini, Suni Cheva Sopakecha, Pandita Samadarshana. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed Vidya Vinay Sampanne, Brahmane Gavihastini, Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha, Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita, those who are actually Pandits, learned, knowledge, they see everyone on an equal level. Pandita means to see Samadarshana. Mental equanimity is required, and spiritual equanimity is also required. So, spiritual equanimity of seeing everyone as spirit is being discussed here, this verse. Pandita Samadarshina Vidya Vinay Sampanne. He's got Vidya and Vinay. Vinay means humility, transcendental quality. Sampanna, he has got the Sampatti. He sees one learned scholar, Brahmana. He sees a cow, sees one elephant, sees one dog, sees one dog eater, the lowest of the humankind, but he's Samadarshina. So Brahmana is in the mode of goodness. Cow among the animals is in the mode of goodness. Elephant more in the mode of passion. And the dog in his ignorance. All three animals are in ignorance. But there is also gradation in that. And especially cow, it is considered goodness and also holy. Dog eater, he is the lowest among the human beings. Swapach. There is a Brahmana who is the topmost, is in the mode of goodness, and the dog eater a human being who eats dog is in the lowest of the human beings. But all of them, he sees spiritual equanimity. He sees every one of them as spirit soul and the body as Krishna's energy. He sees every one of them as spirit soul, the body as Krishna's energy. Now, seeing them as spirit soul, Atma, and the body as energy. Now, which two verses of the Gita you can quote to explain these two different types of energies? I hope the question is clear. Which two verses of the Bhagavad Gita you can quote which are belonging to Krishna's energy? He's seeing two energies of Krishna when he sees all these external manifestations. Prabhupada is quoting here as spirit soul and as Krishna's body as Krishna's energy. Yes, Radha Rohini Mataji.
Bhumirapo Nalavayu Kamanu Buddhirevacha. I think
Yes. That is what is that?
it's Krishna's energies.
That is the body.
Yes.
Body is made of these 24. And then as spirit soul, what is
I
that?
forgot.
That is aparamitastu anyam prakritim vidyam me param jiva bhoto mahabhavo yedam dharite. So the jiva is the marginal energy, the tatastha shakti, and the body in which the spirit soul is there, that is the Bahiranga Shakti. There is the Bahiranga Shakti and the Tatastha Shakti. He sees both these as, Krishna's energies. So that's the point. Therefore, he has no different vision for different person. Vidya Vinay Sampanne Pra Pandita Samadarshina. This is called Brahman realization vision. Brahman realization, God. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. So this level of seeing on the spiritual platform everything as with equal spiritual vision is Brahman realization vision. Prabhupada is again quoting this verse to explain that. This is Brahma Bhuta vision. This is the Brahma Bhuta vision. A Pandita. Actually, when one becomes a learned scholar, he becomes Brahman realized. That is the meaning of Brahmana. Brahmana means one who has realized the Brahman. Brahma janati iti Brahmana. So, before beginning of pure devotional life, one must be Brahman realized. So, please mark this statement of Prabhupada. Before beginning of not devotional life, pure devotional life. That means before beginning Shuddha Bhakti, one should be on what? This platform of Brahman realized. He should be a Brahman realized, he says. That is pure Bhakti. So from this platform onwards, your pure Bhakti begins. Till then, it is Mishra Bhakti. So that is how you can understand. That is actually the platform of devotional service. This is actual platform of devotional service. So both Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu and all other acharyas agree, and Srila Prabhupada here is mentioning that if you know adhikari to practice Vaidhi sadhana bhakti is there. In Uttama Bhakti, sadhana bhakti is first stage. And within sadhana bhakti, there is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana bhakti. And who are having adhikar to practice Vaidhi sadhana bhakti? Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. These are adhikaris. And Jiv Goswami in his commentaries and Prabhupada here Actually, the Madhyamadikari is on an elevated platform. From Madhyamadikari platform onwards, one can practice Shuddha Bhakti. In the Kanishtadikari stage, the Shraddha is very, very weak. Komal Shraddha it is. Whereas the Shraddha of a Madhyamadikari Shraddhavan, he possesses deep faith, strong faith. So this faith is in the scriptures and understanding the meaning of the scriptures. And the Uttamadikari has proud Shraddha, matured faith. So those who are Kanishtadikaris, that means their Shraddha is weak. And by hearing Krishna Katha, they have to strengthen their Shraddha and come to the Madhyamadikari platform. And when they are on the Madhyamadikari platform, then their devotion, pure devotion begins. Because this Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama Adhikaris to practice qualification to practice Shuddha Bhakti is based on Shraddhanusari. Shraddhanusari, based on faith. And Mahaprabhu in the Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, Krame Krame say Oye Uttam. Ultimately, we should slowly from Kanishta Shraddha come to the Madhyam. And from Madhyam, go to the Uttam. So Madhyamadikari, whose faith is very strong in Krishna, he is practicing his bhajan because now his Dridha Shraddha is there. But sometimes when opponents present arguments, he might not be able to convince them. But his faith in the scriptures, faith in Krishna Bhakti is very deep. But the Uttamadikari can defeat the opponents. So that is a slight difference between the Madhyam and the Uttam. So here it is mentioned that actually the platform of devotional service, pure bhakti, means you have to come to, your Shraddha has to come to the level of a Madhyamadikari, and you're a Brahman realized that time, by that time. So this is, means one must be, okay, I'll take the questions. Let me finish this references and I'll take the questions. Means one must be above the Brahminical qualification, Vaishnava. So Prabhupada is saying that what does this mean? That one should be a Vaishnava. So a Kanishta Vaishnava is, that's why called as a Prakrita Vaishnava. He's almost like a Vaishnava. He's not a Vaishnava still. Vaishnava means one is transcendental. A Madhyamadikari is actually like Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. He's liberated. And the subtle body desires are not there. Anya Bilashita Shunyam is not there. So that is the platform from where Shuddha Bhakti will begin. Till then it will be Mishra Bhakti. A Vaishnava Mad Bhakti Labate Param. One who attains the devotional service, Param, Parabhakti. Prabhupada is saying Parabhakti. So from here onwards, from this Brahma Bhuta platform onwards, what type of bhakti begins? Parabhakti. Parabhakti is Shuddha Bhakti. Till then it is not Shuddha Bhakti. There are three stages of devotional life. Arche, Shila, Dhir, Archayam, Eva, Hare. Archana, Archayam, Eva, Hare, Yat, Pujam, Shraddha, He, Ate. Na tad bhakteshu channeshu, Bhakta, Prakrita Smrita. Prabhupada is quoting this. Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama. A person who is worshipping the deity in the temple with all regulative principles. Archayam, Hare, Hare Yatta Pujam Shraddhaya. He has faith. He is worshipping the deity. With devotion, he is executing the service, but does not know how to respect a devotee. Na tad bhakteshu chaneshu. Na tad bhakteshu. He has concentrated his mind on the Archamurti, deity form of the Lord within the temple. That is very nice. But if he does not know how to worship a devotee, na tad bhakteshu chaneshu, he does not know how to elevate other persons, because only a Madhyamadikari can preach. Sa Bhakta Prakrita Smrita. Such kind of a devotee is considered as material Prakriti. So till we have these all uh, uh, material contaminations of identifying ourselves with the body, because then we have desires and we are pursuing those desires. So we are Prakrita Bhaktas, Kanishta. And only a Madhyamadikari can preach. Kanishta Adhikaris also can preach, but they can only give them others also that kind of faith. Madhyamadikari, when he preaches, he can instill deep faith in the candidates. Gradually, one has to become a Prakrit. That means Brahmabhuta. From Brahmabhuta onwards, Mad Bhakti Labate Param. So Parabhakti will begin from there. So this is the first reference what Prabhupada is giving. And any questions on this? And then I'll take the second reference for today's class. And then we will... Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, in previous slide, as you shown that before practicing pure devotional life, one must be Brahman realized.
Yes.
So this Brahman realized, is it not indicating Gyan Path Sadhana? Just clarification.
Oh, this Brahman realized whether it is indicating Gyan Path.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
The Brahman realization is, it's a generic term. It can refer to for a Jnani, for Ashtanga Yogi, and for a Bhakta. So based on the path, the Jnani's conception will be different. That everything is Brahman. The yogi's conception will be different. That everything is actually the Paramatma manifestation. And the Bhakta's conception of Brahman is that yes, everything is a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. So he will connect that to devotion. So there is devotion. So from there onwards, the further development for the Bhakta is there. So like that, for the Jnani, for the Yogi and the Bhakta, this Brahman realization is, in one sense, you can say, is the platform, and but their development, further development, will depend on the path they have taken. Like, to give an example, by performing Nishkama Karma Yoga, one takes up to Varnashram duties. He might be doing those duties out of desire to attain Swarga. Then that is, Sakama. But when we perform Nishkama Karma Yoga, then we become self-realized, Sthita Pragya. And when we become Sthita Pragya, then you are Brahman realized in one sense. And from there onwards, the sadhaka who hasn't come in touch with the Gyanis, because he has that mentality and inclination, he will take up the Jnana path. He is now qualified to take the Jnana path. He's Sthita Pragya. He's Brahman realized. He's qualified to take the Jnana path. And further with that Jnana path, he will ultimately attain, he'll do Brahma Upasana and attain the impersonal Brahman. The Ashtanga Yogi also is a Sthita Pragya, but because he has inclination towards the path of Ashtanga Yoga, he will come in touch with the Ashtanga Yogis as sadhus under his guidance, and he is Sthita Pragya, and now he is qualified to take up the path of Ashtanga Yoga. he can give up now the Varnashram path of Nishkam Karma Yoga. He's qualified to take up the path of Ashtanga Yoga, and now he can take up the path of Ashtanga Yoga, take sannyas, and practice the Ashtanga Yoga, Yama Niyam, and then merge into the impersonal feature of the Lord, or merge into the body of the Lord. For the Bhakta, he is Kanishta Adhikari because he has taken up to Bhakti, and there he is practicing Mishra Bhakti. At the Brahman realized platform, now he is qualified to take up to Shuddha Bhakti. He is qualified to take up Shuddha Bhakti, and then he'll attain Bhagwan. I hope it is clear now. Birendra Yadav Prabhuji?
Yes, bro. Thank you, bro. Bro, just one more clarification. This Brahman realization platform, is it indicating stage of Nishtha?
Yes, in one sense. And now this is, I knew that this question will come up, but this is from the perspective of adhikar to practice sadhana bhakti. Adhikar to practice sadhana bhakti. From that perspective, yes, it is definitely indicating the stage of Nishtha. Because till the stage of Nishtha, because anarthas are there in the subtle body. And we have desires. And that's why still Anya Bilashita, and there is karma avaran happening because of that. So definitely when at the stage of Nishtha one is self-realized, then he can take up to Shuddha Bhakti. Yes.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much.
Yes. One more question. Radha Rohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you move the slide, second slide, Prabhuji?
Yes.
So in that, you mentioned that worship the Guru. If he does not know how to worship a devotee, he does not know how to elevate other persons. What does it mean, Prabhuji? How can I understand?
His vision is that I and the deity. And that's why he's fixed in the service of the deity. But the Lord means the Lord and his devotees. The king means the king and the queen and the king and the ministers and the king and all the praja. So he only has a vision that I am the Lord. And the Lord, the definition of the Supreme Personality of God means it includes everything. So he has not developed that broad vision where he respects the Lord's devotees. That is why he's called as a Prakrita or a Kanishta Adhikari. And that's why only a Madhyam Adhikari can distinguish. He has love for the Lord, and that love manifests in the form of love for the jivas. And that's why those who are innocent, he shows compassion by preaching. And those who are equals, he makes deep friendship. And those who are superiors, he serves them with their heart and soul. So the Madhyama Adhikari can make this distinction and understand who is on what platform. So with the Uttam Adhikaris, the Madhyama will serve with his heart and soul. With the Madhyamas, his colleagues who are on the equal platform, he'll have deep friendship. And with the Kanishta, he'll try to elevate them, or the general public who are innocent. He'll try to elevate them by preaching Krishna consciousness. Ishvara tad adineshu balishu dushatsapi prema maitri karuna upeksha yaha karoti sa madhyama. So that's why the Madhyam platform is the platform of beginning of pure devotional service. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll take another reference and stop for today. Another few minutes. Now, this second reference, what I'm giving, is from the Srimad Bhagavatam class on the first canto, 7th chapter, September 24, 1976, Vrindavan. Now hear this very attentively and carefully, and I'm going to ask questions on this to you. First of all, you should come to this Krishna conscious movement. Some of you, not all, Shraddha. Krishna consciousness movement, Hare Krishna movement is very good. So somebody who comes to the Krishna conscious movement, oh, these Hare Krishna people are very nice. And he comes to the temple. That's because of Shraddha. This is Shraddha. Let us see how it is. Let us join. So first of all, Shraddha. So he's coming to the temple or joining the kirtan because he has some Shraddha. There is some Shraddha. So first of all, there is Shraddha. Many people come out of Shraddha, faith. Shraddha means little faith. So those who are coming to the temple and associating with the devotees, the Hare Krishna movement, hearing Krishna Katha from them, they have little faith, Shraddha. But according to our Goswami literature, that faith is not little faith. Please mark the statements of Prabhupada. There is Shraddha, but according to Goswami literature, that faith which the Goswami literatures are speaking is not this little faith with which people are coming to temple and hearing about Krishna. That faith is also very strong. The Goswami literature, what the faith they have spoken is very strong faith. And here I have used another term. I have given this as Purna Shraddha. Then the beginning is there. So from here onwards, this very strong faith, there is a beginning. Then there is beginning. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has described about this faith, this Goswami literature faith. What is that? He describes faith means Shraddha, English word faith and Sanskrit word Shraddha, respectful, Shraddhadhana. Shraddhadhana refers to Shraddhavan, one who possesses lot of Shraddha. Just like Dhanvan possesses lot of faith, a lot of wealth, the Shraddhadhana or the Shraddhavan possesses a lot of Shraddha. So this Shraddha, Ado Shraddha, the beginning is Shraddha, faith. So there is the Ado stage where there is the beginning of faith. But the Goswami literatures are speaking about strong faith, Shraddhadhana. So this Shraddha is defined by Kaviraj Goswami. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Sudrida Nishchay. Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krit Hoy. If I perform Krishna Bhakti, all other karmas are taken care. So I don't perform any other karma and I only perform Bhakti. This Shraddha, when one develops, then one is what? He gives up everything else. Sarva Dharman Parityaja. This is Shraddha, according to our Gaudiya Vaishnavas. This is Shraddha. So Gaudiya Vaishnava definition of Shraddha, Prabhupada is defining here. What is that? Krishna asking, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. So when you come to this platform of Sarva Dharman, give up all other dharmas. Give up your Kshatriya Dharma, Varnashram Dharma, and completely surrender to the Lord. Paro Dharma, and perform only Paro Dharma and no other Dharma. Then that Shraddha is Purna Shraddha. This is Gaudiya Vaishnava Shraddha. He is asking, demanding, so which we have faith. Sorry, I'm not able to see this because. So when we have faith in the words of Krishna, yes, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam, yes, I shall do. Then Shraddha begins. So recently I met one family, Prabhupada's disciples, Krutu Prabhu and his wife. And they were both in America. Krutu Prabhu was a very qualified engineer and did his master's and he was working for a very big firm. And he came in touch with Prabhupada, he met Prabhupada And Prabhupada asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm an engineer working in a very big company." "Oh, there are many engineers, many doctors, but there are no preachers. Why don't you preach the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?" And Krutu Prabhu, who had a very big job in a very big company, he resigned the next day and gave a blank check to Prabhupada. And full time, both the husband and wife joined, and he started preaching. And since then, he's preaching now, 50 years it is almost. So Prabhupada was able to instill in him that complete faith where he was at one shot able to give up his attachment to maintaining his family, attachment to his job, everything. Sarva dharman paritejya. So Prabhupada was such a Mahabhagat who could instill that kind of faith. Sarva dharman. Then Shraddha begins. So when we come to this point, when we have faith in the words of Krishna, then Shraddha begins. Otherwise, there is no Shraddha. That is the beginning of Shraddha, Ado. So beginning of Shraddha is called as the Ado stage. There is the Ado also, there is a stage. And Shraddha, Ado, Shraddha means complete faith. Sarva dharman paritejya or Shraddha Shabde, Vishwas, Sudhrida Nishchay. That is complete faith. So you can understand now between the two types of Shraddhas which Prabhupada is saying. If you have got faith in these words of Krishna, that yes, whatever Krishna says, Sarva dharman paritejya mam ekam sharanam, accept it, then Shraddha begins. So from here, Shraddha begins. And here I have now classified this and given a term as Purna Shraddha. Otherwise, there is no Shraddha, ordinary Shraddha, Kanishta Shraddha. They are going this temple or another, Kali's temple or Durga's temple. Their faith is not strong, Komal Shraddha. They say that everyone is all right. Yatamat tatapat, whatever you like. That is not Shraddha, that is whims. And Shraddha means when you firmly believe in the words of Krishna, that Krishna said, Sarva dharman paritejya, mam ekam sharanam braja. So Prabhupada is repeatedly 3 times he has now quoted this 18.66. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has said, Shraddha Shabda Vishwas Kahe Sudrida Nishchay. Krishna said that give up everything, I shall give you. Yes, it is a fact. I shall provide everything, give up everything. We need a lot of faith to give up our job, everything, and Krishna will maintain my family. So if you don't have that faith that Krishna will maintain my family if I give up my job, that means we don't have that Purna Shraddha. Our Shraddha is still Komal. Why shall I bother with? That is Shraddha. Vishwas kahe Sudrid Nishay. Sudrid means very firm faith, not flickering faith, Komal Shraddha. When you have got this kind of Shraddha, naturally the next stage will be how to keep my Shraddha firm faith in Krishna. So when you have got this Purna Shraddha, then there is Sadhu Sangha. Otherwise, in Ado, that Shraddha is Ado. You're just started beginning to come and hear about Krishna because you have that little faith. You're in the Ado stage. And there also there is Sadhu Sangha happening. There is also you're doing bhajan, you're chanting and all. But when you have got Purna Shraddha, then you associate with sadhus who are very expert in bhajan, who will give you that expert bhajan by which we can attain what? Krishna Prem. Then you have to mix with devotees who are keeping constantly in Krishna service. So these sadhus, after this Shraddha you have attained Purna Shraddha, you are associating with sadhus who are also continuously engaged in Krishna service. That means they have also have got Purna Shraddha. Therefore, this temple is required that devotees will always be engaged in Krishna service And those who have got Shraddha, they will come and see how the devotees are engaged, how they have sacrificed their life only for serving Krishna. They have sacrificed their life only for serving Krishna and nothing else. That is Sadhu Sangha. This is Sadhu Sangha. Prabhupada is giving a very clear understanding of what exactly is Sadhu Sangha. So this is the second reference I wanted to give. And I will just take a short chart and complete it. So here is Paratattva, the absolute truth. The absolute truth can be Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagwan. For devotee it is Bhagwan. And Purna Shraddha, Adhikar for practicing pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti. Purna Shraddha is required. And from here, these stages in Ananya Bhakti, Sadhu Sangha, sorry, the spelling is wrong here, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivriti, Nishta, Ruchi and Bhava come into stage. So there is Purna Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivriti, Nishta, Ruchi, Bhava and Prem, and you will attain Bhagwan. So here is the Jnana path, the Bhakti path, Ananya Bhakti path, and this is the Karma path. Within the Karma path, there is a lower level, this is Karma Kand, where one wants to attain heaven. So when starts practicing Nishkama Karma Yoga, he hears Krishna Katha from sadhus. That is those who have come in touch with pure devotees. So hearing like this, now because he has his subtle body, the nature is there, and he's engaged in his business or he's engaged in maintaining his family or engaged in other things. So he's also engaged in hearing Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, doing Shravan Kirtan. But at the same time, he is engaged in also other duties based on his body, based on his nature of his subtle body. So that time he's practicing Mishra Bhakti, he's practicing Mishra, but attains complete disgust for Varnashram duties and complete faith in Krishna. Jat Shraddha Mat Katasu Nirvinna Sarva Karmasu. Nirvinna means completely disgusted. Oh, sorry. I have not shared the screen, I feel. Yes, sorry, I forgot about it. Yeah. Nirvinna Sarva Karmasu. Nirvinna Sarva Karmas, completely disgusted with all material activities. Then he attains Purna Shraddha. So from Mishra Bhakta, who has come in touch with pure devotees, he attains Purna Shraddha, and then these stages of Ananya Bhakti will become. Whereas this same Nishkama Karma Yogi, if he attains self-realization, he becomes a Sthita Pragya, and he comes in touch with Jnanis, he has to attain complete detachment from matter. Then he becomes Adhikari for practicing Jnana Yoga. And then the Jnana Yoga limbs by which he'll attain the Paratattva as Brahman. Brahman Upasana by Brahman Upasana. An Ashtanga Yogi also has to attain complete detachment. And then by practicing the Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharan, Dhyan, Samadhi, then he'll attain merging in the body of the Lord, Paratattva. So the Paratattva can be Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagwan, and these are the paths. So here I have again put this. He's a karmi, he's a devotee, but he is practicing Mishra Bhakti. He does karma and offers the result. That will be karma arpanam to the Lord. Here Krishna Katha, and he is doing bhajan. So he is a devotee here, but he is practicing Mishra Bhakti. But when he attains firm faith, then that is the entry for pure devotional service, Purna Shraddha. Then there is Sadhu Sang, then there is Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivriti, then there is pure Sadhana Bhakti, which is free from karma, and then there is Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prem. Whereas this karmi, if he practices Nishkama Karma Yoga, then he has to attain full detachment from the results of karma. Then it is the entry there for Jnana Marg. That is the Sthita Pragya. And then he will practice Yama, Niyam, Asana, and he'll attain the liberated stage here. And then he will attain Brahman. So, from these two purports and lectures of Prabhupada, this I have again put in the chart so that we can clearly understand. Now, any questions on this? And we will stop here because today is Nityanand Trayodasi and we would like to hear lectures on Nityanand Trayodasi. Today is a festival. So any lectures, any questions on this? About these two quotations of Prabhupada which we discussed about Purna Shraddha. There is one question. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhu, hearing this Purna Sabda definition, it becomes quite clear that we are not actually entered also in Bhakti, it seems. Because the Purna Sabda is the entry door for going
Purna
in.
Shraddha is the entry door for practicing Ananya Bhakti. We are practicing Bhakti now, but there is development of Shraddha happening with that Bhakti practice.
But Purna Shraddha is indicating Sarva Dharman Parityajya, and definitely we are not at that level. So, how we can understand?
Yes, now we have faith in Krishna, we have faith in Krishna Katha, we have also our nature conditioning, and we have so many duties. So as we stick on to more and more hearing, more and more chanting, then there is this development of Shraddha which is happening. And when this Shraddha matures to Purna Shraddha, you will have that faith that Krishna will take care of everything. And from there onwards, our development, our practice of Ananya Bhakti will begin. So now it is Mishra Bhakti, but Shuddha Bhakti practice will begin from there. So now we have to see how to develop that Shraddha, how we should hear more and more Krishna Katha, how we should more and more practice the limbs of devotion, try to practice more the constitutional duties and reduce the conditional duties. For so long we had been, before coming to spiritual life, we were only doing bodily activities. And then slowly we took up to spiritual activities. Step by step, we started coming to temple. We heard the Bhagavad Gita course. We took up to practice of chanting, and slowly the constitutional duties are happening. So the more we do constitutional duties, direct the angas of bhakti, and develop this faith, and come to this point of development of faith where they are in the Madhyama platform. Now, from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu perspective, we become Shraddhavan, Sudrida Nishchay, Sudrida, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Sudrida Nishchay. From there onwards, our Ananya Bhakti will begin. Till then, it will be Mishra Bhakti. Till then, we will be still in the Kanishta platform. So, we have to understand that. And now we have been given a very clear map. With that map, how to proceed ahead is what we have to jot the course of action in our life. Is it clear?
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So I'll stop here now because it's 8:15 and we have Nityanand Trayodasi. Any other questions anyone has can post it in the group on a voice recording and we'll answer in the group. Shri Bhakti Tattva Viveka ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai, Hare Krishna.